One of the things about human nature you have to understand is that everyone wants a deal. Everyone wants to pay, have a high value item and pay a lower price. That's just human nature. So most people that you meet will try to give you the smallest amount of respect that they could, will try to give you the minimum and try to get the most out of you. That's just human nature. An economy of motion, an economy of words, and an economy in terms of how you interact with people. So, unfortunately, if you have low self esteem, if you are not happy and at peace with yourself, you're going to be desperate enough to sell yourself short. So, the most important thing you have to do is find peace in your heart so that you don't sell yourself short. Because only unhappy and people who are completely miserable and not at peace with their lives, those are the only people who are willing to sell their stock short. So that's the first thing. And the way that you create that peace of mind is the number one way that has been shown across multiple studies, across multiple areas, across multiple, just in general, and it's meditation, people. I am so sorry. Meditation sounds like I'm giving you bad news, but meditation is the number one thing that you have to practice so that you can have the mental clarity and the good enough levels of self-esteem to be able to say no to people who are trying to lowball you, because it's only human nature. So that's the first thing you have to do. You have to be at peace with yourself. You have to learn how to validate yourself. And meditation creates an ecosystem of positive emotions so that whenever you feel low, whenever you feel down, whenever your self-esteem feels like it's going low, this self-esteem through meditation will naturally, like a thermostat, noticing that the temperature has gotten to a certain level, it naturally turns on your self-esteem so that it could go up to its normal levels. So that's the first thing, meditation. Please practice that. After that, it's all about not accepting less. You got to know, what do you want? How do you want people to treat you? Not what type of person, not how they look, or what type of job they're gonna have, the people in your life, but ask yourself, what do you want people to treat you like? And be realistic and don't accept anything less. Because and this is why the meditation part is important, because the meditation part allows you to say no to people, to push people away in your life simply because they're not giving you or treating you with the respect and with the right level of priority that you feel like you deserve. So meditation will give you that ability to say no. For example, it's almost like if you're broke as hell, right? But you have family members who are supporting you. You're able to say no to shitty jobs simply because you have a backup plan, simply because you have somebody supporting you in the background, right? But if you didn't have a job, and you didn't have any support from your family, you're willing to accept less than what you deserve simply because you know that you have no backup. This is the only hope that you have. So that's the point of meditation. Meditation is like the parent who's supporting you on the side, and that support is peace of mind. Because the reason why we want people to treat us with respect is because we want our self-esteem to feel good. We want to feel special. We want to feel heard and understood. But what meditation does, it makes you feel heard and understood. So it'll give you the emotional stability to be willing to wait and say no to people and wait for a better offer. You gotta understand, most of the reason why I say you gotta be happy is simply because most of the time when people get in toxic relationships, the toxic relationships are just people who are lowballing you, who are treating you less than you deserve, and you accepting it. And the reason why you tend to accept is because you're going through a period where you're depressed and sad. And I remember the relationships that I've gotten in that hurt me the most, that were most unequal, that they didn't treat me right, was when I was sad and depressed and I met someone in that sad, depressed period. And it's almost like sadness and unhappiness tends to attract toxic partners, tends to attract people who don't value you, tends to attract relationships that create more of that. That's why it's so important to have that peace of mind. And that's why meditation is so important when it comes as the foundation to getting people to prioritize you.
Meditation can be a powerful tool in raising self-esteem and empowering individuals to establish healthier boundaries in their relationships. By engaging in regular meditation practice, individuals cultivate a heightened sense of self-awareness. This increased awareness allows them to recognize their own worth and value as individuals, making it less likely for them to accept breadcrumbs or tolerate bad behavior from others. Furthermore, meditation helps individuals develop emotional regulation skills. Through this practice, individuals learn to cultivate emotional resilience and regulate their emotions more effectively. This prevents them from getting caught up in negative self-talk or being overly affected by the opinions or actions of others. By developing emotional stability, individuals gain the confidence to assert their boundaries and stand up for themselves. Moreover, meditation promotes the cultivation of self-compassion. It encourages individuals to treat themselves with kindness and understanding. By practicing self-compassion, individuals foster a stronger sense of self-worth and self-love. As a result, they become more discerning in their relationships and are less likely to settle for less than they deserve. In addition, regular meditation enhances focus and clarity. By improving concentration, individuals are able to see situations more clearly and objectively. This clarity enables them to make healthier choices and prioritize their own well-being. With a clear perspective, individuals develop the self-esteem to wait for someone who treats them with respect and care, rather than settling for
People
less.
have to see the value in you. And the thing about value is that some people will see you as the most valuable person in the world, and some people don't. And why is that? Because of their projections. To some people, you represent something they value, and to some people, you represent something you don't value. You are different according to how they see the world. So some people will not value you. And if you get mad at that some people don't value you, what you are doing is internalizing that low self-worth. So you have to say no and be willing to walk away when someone is not prioritizing you. They're not calling you on time. They're always late on the meetups. They disrespect you in front of other people. They lie to you. They gaslight you. All of those things are signs that people don't prioritize you. And the most important thing is to leave, because when you stay with people who don't prioritize you, you internalize the way that they feel, because emotions are contagious. Point of views are contagious. And if somebody sees you and you represent them settling, then you're gonna feel that low self-worth directed towards yourself. Don't do that. You're committing violence against yourself. So that's the first thing. Don't accept less. Simple as that. Accept less naturally lowers your self-esteem. And after that, they need to see the value in you. And that value comes with fear. And that fear comes with an enhancement of your worth and the lowering of other people's worth. For example, when you value a job, you're gonna be anxious, because you're afraid of losing that valuable thing. And so that anxiety naturally causes you to see the job that is valuable even more valuable than it is. And because of that enhancement through fear, it causes you to see all the other opportunities as lower value. And then it causes you to see yourself as higher value simply because this job accepted you. So they have to see that value. You can't force them to see that. And if you try to force people to see the value in you, it lowers your value. You're doing attention-seeking behavior that resonates with low self-esteem. And so what you're doing is confirming to them what they see about you. Can you see how other people's perception changes the way you perceive yourself? And unfortunately, a lot of us have learned to perceive ourselves based on how our parents treated us. So that's the issue with this, is that some of you guys have had a bad starting point, and that starting point was having parents who didn't respect you. So then you internalize that. Children absorb energies from our parents. So you have to be careful with accepting disrespect, with staying with people who don't value you, because then you'll start internalizing it and you'll start attracting more people like that.
When we accept disrespect from partners, it can have a detrimental impact on our self-esteem and even influence the way our brains respond to future relationships. At first, it may seem like a small compromise or an isolated incident, but over time, tolerating disrespectful behavior erodes our sense of self-worth. This acceptance sends a message to ourselves that we deserve to be treated poorly, which undermines our confidence and self-esteem. As we continue to accept disrespect, our brain begins to form unconscious associations between negative behaviors and attraction. Our brains seek patterns and familiarity. So when we repeatedly encounter disrespectful partners, our brain starts to perceive these behaviors as normal and even appealing. This rewiring of our brain's neural pathways creates a cycle where we become more likely to attract and be attracted to people who exhibit similar disrespectful traits. This unconscious process occurs because our brains are wired to seek what is familiar, even if it is harmful or unhealthy. The repeated exposure to disrespectful behavior creates a distorted perception of what constitutes a healthy relationship. We might find ourselves drawn to individuals who exhibit similar characteristics, as they trigger a sense of familiarity and comfort, despite the toxic dynamics involved. Breaking this cycle requires conscious effort and introspection. Recognizing and acknowledging the pattern is the first step towards reclaiming our self-worth. Engaging in therapy or seeking help from support networks can also provide invaluable guidance in breaking free from this cycle of attracting disrespectful partners. By consciously cultivating self-respect and setting boundaries, we can begin to rewire our brain's associations and create healthier patterns in our relationships.
Like the rich get rich and the poor get poor, and the low value and the low self-esteem people get lower. And don't try to convince people because of your value. Why? Because that's called reverse supplication. You try to show off. You start saying things to qualify yourself to them. All of those things reinforce all of those things reinforce low self-esteem. The next thing that you could do for them to see your value is to have friends. So outside of you being at peace, because that's the most important thing, because being at peace is self-validating. And when you validate yourself, you're almost putting a value on yourself and being a high value, because you don't need somebody to buy what you're selling because you already bought it yourself. So that's why it's important to develop a meditation practice. You can either purchase my course on meditation, which you could click in the description down below, or you could read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, right? Or you could go to a meditation retreat. It's called dharma.org. Dharma.org. You can sign up for a free 10-day meditation retreat. And by doing that meditation retreat, you exercise all of the emotions that you have internalized of low self-worth. You exercise it through a meditation process, and you transform that low self-worth into high self-esteem through meditation. The next thing is have friends and have a support group, because studies show people appear more attractive in a group. Your value increases when you're around a group. It's called the cheerleader effect. Cheerleaders by themselves look cute. Put them around other good-looking cheerleaders, and studies have shown that people perceive the attractiveness of the individual cheerleaders as more attractive when they're in a group.
The cheerleader effect refers to the phenomenon where individuals appear more attractive when seen as part of a group compared to when seen alone. This effect applies to both men and women. Research has shown that individual faces are perceived as more attractive when presented in a group context rather than when presented alone. One explanation for the cheerleader effect is the concept of the averaging effect. When multiple faces are viewed together, the brain tends to average out the features, resulting in a more symmetrical and appealing overall impression. This averaging effect can enhance the attractiveness of each individual within the group. It is important to note that the cheerleader effect is a perceptual phenomenon and does not necessarily reflect the true attractiveness of an individual. The effect is based on how our brains process visual information and make judgments in a social context. Understanding the cheerleader effect can have practical applications. For example, when presenting oneself in a group setting or choosing profile pictures for online platforms, being seen alongside others may enhance perceived attractiveness. However, it is crucial to remember that genuine attractiveness extends beyond the context of a group and encompasses various personal qualities.
Humans with friends, people who have a social circle and they're seen in the social circle, appear more valuable. And the reason why is because it's one thing seeing a girl by herself. It's another thing seeing a girl or a guy with a group of friends. That person looks more valuable because they are greater than the sum of their parts. Human, you appear aligned, you appear socially intelligent. There's just too many positive traits that are associated when you have friends, and with those positive traits comes a natural increase of perceived value. And so people will come to you with more respect simply because they see you around other people. It's that simple. simply because they see you around other people. And so there's a higher likelihood that they're going to prioritize you. And also another thing is that when you focus on, because where you meet people matters. If you focus on meeting people in real life, not online, in real life, the people who you meet in real life has been shown that they're going to treat you better. They're gonna value you more. They're gonna give you more support. They're gonna try to be more respectful, simply because if you met them through friends and family and through a social circle, they know that you know the people that they know, and so they don't want to mess up their reputation. But if you meet them online, first of all, they already know you like them. Second of all, that it's important for people to see you from a distance in normal life and wonder whether or not you like them. And then it's important for them to slowly realize, oh my God, this person likes me. That process of seeing you and then realizing that you like them through days or weeks or months is important in the mating process. Because when you're online, you know, and you match with them, you know you like them. That on the period of uncertainty is so important in the mating process. And
from a psychological perspective, this traditional mating process helps foster a deeper sense of connection and builds a solid foundation for emotional intimacy. When we meet someone in person, we engage multiple senses that enhance our perception of the other person. We observe their body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice, which provide valuable cues about their emotions and intentions. This rich sensory input allows us to form a more authentic understanding of the individual, fostering a genuine connection based on nonverbal communication. Moreover, the uncertainty of not knowing whether someone likes us or not can lead to heightened anticipation and excitement. As we interact with the person over time, slowly discovering their interest and affection, our brain releases neurotransmitters like dopamine, which are associated with feelings of pleasure, reward, and attraction. This gradual process of realizing that the other person is interested in us activates the brain's reward system, creating a sense of fulfillment and strengthening the bond between individuals. Neurologically, face-to-face interactions trigger the activation of mirror neurons. These specialized brain cells simulate the actions and emotions of others, allowing us to empathize and establish emotional connections. When we meet someone in person and experience shared activities and conversations, our mirror neurons fire, creating a sense of resonance and deepening our understanding of the other person's emotions and perspectives. Furthermore, the slower pace of traditional dating allows us to develop important qualities such as patience, commitment, and effective communication skills. It teaches us to invest time and effort into nurturing a relationship, building trust, and emotional compatibility along the way. These qualities play a significant role in maintaining long-term partnerships and weathering challenges that may arise.
And also, it's important in the friendship process, right? So having friends in social circle. And the next thing and most important thing is learning how to use absence and presence. If you want people to prioritize you, don't be around them too much, at least in the beginning. In the beginning, don't suffocate them with your presence. In the beginning, create some distance. In the beginning, have your own life. In the beginning, set some barriers and say, hey, look, I know I like you and stuff like that, but let's just see each other and slowly build this thing up. Do not let the other person speed things up, because if you let them speed things up, it lowers your value. Control the pace of where this is going by you slowing them down, even though you want it fast. By you slowing them down, it shows that you have value. Because what you're saying, you're assessing your options, motherfucker. Like you're assessing your options. You're not sure whether or not you want them yet. So by you slowing them down, you're communicating that you still need to get to know them. And that what that says is that you're not desperate.
When you hold yourself back, you incur not anger, but a kind of respect. You instantly seem powerful because you make yourself ungraspable rather than succumbing to the group or to the relationship, as most people do. This aura of power only grows with time. As your reputation for independence grows, more and more people will come to desire you, wanting to be the one who gets you to commit. Desire is like a virus. If we see that someone is desired by other people, we tend to find this person desirable too. The moment you commit, the magic is gone. You become like everyone else. People will try all kinds of underhanded methods to get you to commit. They will give you gifts, shower you with favors, all to put you under obligation. Encourage the attention, stimulate their interest, but do not commit at any cost. Accept the gifts and favors if you so desire, but be careful to maintain your inner aloofness. You cannot inadvertently allow yourself to feel obligated to anyone.
And also what that says is that they're the ones that are desperate. You're saying, hey man, slow your hot ass down. I don't know you yet, man. I don't know you. I don't know who you are. So you need to slow down. And so it'll cause them to self-reflect naturally, because that's just human nature. But also you just don't want to speed up a relationship, because anything that comes fast leaves fast. That's just how life is, right? So alternate with absence and presence. Be there intensely for a few days and then take a few days off. Don't suffocate them with your presence, because too much presence lowers your value. Too much presence, because when people see you, all the time, they get desensitized to you. Just like anything, right? So if you want to give them your fullest, your strongest effect and your strongest presence, make sure to alternate presence and absence like this. Robert Greene. Tell them how it's done.
Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much circulation makes the price go down. The more you are seen and heard from, the more common you appear. If you are already established in a group, temporary withdrawal from it will make you more talked about, even more admired. You must learn when to leave, create value through scarcity.
And what will happen is that you're sub-communicating to them that they need to value you. And if they don't value you, you walk away. You are a hot item. You should not be begging for people to buy what you're offering. You should be in the storefront, have it offered, put your high price, but don't beg. And do not, and I repeat, do not put yourself on sale. Nothing that's valuable goes on sale. Have you seen a Da Vinci on sale? 2 Da Vincis for one? Get the hell out of here. Don't put yourself on sale. And if you do that and you tell people you watch my channel, don't do that. Don't tell people you watch my channel and you lower your value and you sell yourself short, all because you don't feel happy. Develop a meditation process. Learn to be with your breath. That will raise your self-esteem, because what that's doing is producing positive emotions inside of you. That's not stimulated by the outside. You are creating your own ecosystem of positive emotions. And that attracts people. And that makes you valuable in their eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you guys enjoy this, and you want to learn about this, I have a course called Charisma. I have a course about charisma. This course is a course that I created. It took me a year or two to write down the material, and we taught this course in London. It's one of the best courses I've made. It's gotten one of the best reviews. You can click on the description down below to purchase it. It's a course about how to develop charisma so that people can prioritize you. And so it's in 2 parts. The first part is how to create external charisma. Charisma that's an illusion, like celebrities, which is pretty much what celebrities do. That's the first day, right? And I teach you about symbolism, how to project certain traits, and how to create the level of distance that creates an aura of charisma and power. That's perfect for anyone who has a job, anyone who has who's a parent, and they want to communicate an air of authority. You have to. That's just, you can't be yourself in that type of position. The second video is a different form of charisma. The second part is about internal charisma, how to radiate charisma from within. Once people get close to you, how do you project a level of charisma? Because the first video, the first section of that course is about a charisma that has distance. The type of charisma you create when you and your audience have distance, similar to this. But the next day, what we're going to teach you is about charisma, but face to face. How to project a certain level of charisma when people actually know you, so that you don't have to act fake. I'm telling you, this course, if you do exactly what this course says, people at one point or another will call you charismatic. You're going to have a certain level of charisma. And when you do that, when you have that, you have power. You have influence. So click on the description down below. You could check out some videos for free so that you could decide if you like it or not. You could purchase it, and there's a 30-day money back guarantee. And I'll see you guys later.